So, hey everyone, this is Brian from Massey's Main Entertainment, and I'm back again with our ongoing series of building the perfect album. We're picking the best songs of every particular year. I'm joined again by Rich Strickler, right to the folks, Rich, and Doc. Doc, how you doing?
All good, Brian.
Excellent. So we're going on with our series. This video is going to be part one of 1970. So we're going to give you our first 12 songs from that particular year. Another rough one, guys. A lot of chicken scratching and erasing, and it got messy on my sheets, and I had to start over again. And so it was kind of fun. Quick review of the rules since we're doing double albums for this particular year. Because we have double albums, we're allowing everyone to pick 2 songs from each particular album if they would like. Obviously, if an artist had 2 albums released in that year, then you could pick, additional songs as well from those albums. Singles still count the same for the year that they were released. If you want to go a little deeper and get some album cuts, it just has to be in the year that the album was released. Outside of that, that's all the other rules stay in place just like they are. I wanted to encourage everybody, if they get a chance, to go back and review our other videos as well. I mean, we started at 1965, and we're right up through now. We're at 1970, a brand new decade ahead of us. And I think it would really work out if you could watch those videos as well. So we're waiting for Doc to flip back in, huh?
Yeah, let's wait for him and then.
Yeah.
And hopefully come back in. There we go.
Yeah, you're there.
I'm there, buddy. I don't know how that happened. So
I
got my connection.
If you get a chance to check out our other videos, that would be wonderful. I'll leave I'll leave links down below for some of those videos as well, so that way you can check them out. The order tonight, I think Rich is going to be batting leadoff. This is his year that he chose to have a double album. And I'll go second, and then Doc, you're going to be batting cleanup tonight. So,
yes, sir,
excited. So let's get started. Rich, what do you got for us?
All
what
right,
kind of damage?
Side 1 or side A, whatever you want to say. I'm going to kick it off with Woodstock by Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. The Joni Mitchell pen song. This is perfect for that era. I mean, it transitioned from '69 when the festival was held until '70 when the documentary came out. All the big acts, or many of the big acts of that era, played the Woodstock concert, and it's documented on film. If you haven't seen it, it's an absolute must-see. It's a hippie, mind-blowing experience. I just love everything about it. It's a great song. We are stardust, we are golden, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. I like the Crosby, Stills, and Nash version the best. Even though Joni wrote it, it's more folky, and then Matthew Southern Comfort had a hit with it in '71. I like that version too, but I wanted to get Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young on here because they were big at that era. Matter of fact, they're going to have a back-to-backer because I'm going number 2. I'm going to go with Ohio from Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. So nice transition from Woodstock to Ohio. Protest song, of course, about the Kent State shootings in May of '70. Neil Young wrote this after seeing the photos in Life magazine. They recorded it right after that. Very effective song. 4 Dead in Ohio. I mean, you can hear the emotion in the voice of the guys when they're singing because it's fresh in their minds. It's a headline story. Tin Soldiers and Nixon Coming. We're finally on our own. This summer, I hear the drumming. 4 Dead in Ohio. Just a landmark song. So those are my first 2 out of the gate. Number 3, you can see the Vietnam War theme here that I'm using. Number 3 is War by Edwin Starr, off the Motown label. Another protest song written by Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong, 2 of the key writers for the Motown label. I love this song. Springsteen did it later on his live album, but this is the original by Edwin Starr. Good lyrics. It ain't nothing but a heartbreaker, friend only to the undertaker. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And he just blares that out there. My next song is another kind of protest song. Who Will Stop the Rain by CCR off the Cosmos Factory album. Thinly veiled protest song, more of a folky sound with John Fogerty on lead vocals with that great voice. Again, you could read into this what you will. Rain being a metaphor for war. Who will stop the rain? One of the several Creedence songs that peaked at number 2. They never had a number 1 hit in their whole career. I think they had 4 number 2s. This is one of them. The next one up is by Grand Funk Railroad, I'm Your Captain. One of those songs that, again, you can interpret a bunch of different ways, from a captain losing his ship, which is very basic, to someone getting lost and away from home and after a lengthy trip, or the Vietnam soldiers used it. I'm getting closer to home. They're waiting to get out of that mess and back to where they belong. So I love the Grand Funk Railroad sound at that time. This is one of their better songs. I'm getting closer to my home, and they refrain that over and over at the end. It's a long song. And then finally, I'm going to end up side A here with the Moody Blues, so I always go back to the song Question. This is a perfect song to close my album. Again, you're choosing love over war, and I just love the lyrics here. That's what I want to concentrate on. Why do we never get an answer when we're knocking at the door with 1,000 million questions about hate and death and war? Because when we stop and look around us, there is nothing that we need in a world of persecution that is burning in its greed. And then they go into that kind of Moody Blues sound. It's their own sound. Nobody else sounds like them. And it transitions into a love song, almost dreamlike, between altered states. And it goes like this: between the silence and the mountains and the crashing of the sea, there lies a land I once lived in, and she's waiting there for me. Between the gray of the morning, my mind becomes confused between the dead and the sleeping and the road that I must choose. So it's like kind of a dreamy kind of thing. Half asleep? Are you dead? Is this a ghost? Is this a dream? The whole 9 yards. So that ends up my side 1. I had to get the Moody Blues in there. It's one of my favorite songs of theirs.
So all very different bands, but all tied together by that common thread. That's the cool part about that whole side.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. Which album is that Grand Funk song on?
It's called Closer to Home.
And Closer to Home.
Okay.
It's almost a title track. It's one of those ones like Elton John's Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding with a Slash. It transitions from I'm Your Captain right into Closer to Home. It's like one long song. And it ends their album, I believe. Just almost ending mine. But I had to get it on here. That was one of the songs I was trying to fit in. So it fit in with the war theme on side A.
Good
album. Good side there to start, buddy. That's for sure.
I like the threads that bind it. That's what I really like about it the most.
Now, if you play these 6 songs back to back, I think you'd really dig it. Anybody out there, put them on a playlist and tell me it doesn't rock 1970.
I tell you, I liked it, buddy. I'm liking it. I have my notes there. I'm not going to say anything about what we have the same or what we don't. I'll just let things unfold. But when we get to the end, we'll see how it goes. That's a solid side A to start, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, who's up next? I'm going to my second side.
Get your side B.
I'm lollygagging here. Sorry, folks. Side B. This is more of a spiritual side. I'm going to kick it off with My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. Just an uplifting, almost gospel at times. Hallelujah, Krishna, Krishna. Doesn't matter what religion you are, you can vibe with this song. Billy Preston and Eric Clapton both play instruments on this. It's off the All Things Must Pass album, which is, right after the Beatles broke up. George was dominating there. He actually blew McCartney and Lennon away because he had the better material at that point, in my opinion. Some will argue. So we go from that to Spirit in the Sky, Norman Greenbaum. A big hit, number 3, kind of a one-hit wonder. Was a one-hit wonder. He was a folk artist who had found lightning in a bottle, so to speak. I mean, he was just nowhere. And then this song comes out, household name, Norman Greenbaum. Everybody associates that now with Spirit in the Sky. If you don't know it, when I die and they lay me to rest, I'm going to go to the place that's the best. And it's got that kind of psychedelic.
Yeah, sure.
The whole thing works. So there's more. Those two kick it off. Then I'm going to slow it down a bit. Still in the vibe of spirituality a little bit. Into the Mystic by Van Morrison off the Moondance album.
Nice.
This is a song that really is one that touches your soul. It's just flawless, instrumentally. I love everything about it. It's probably my favorite Van Morrison song. We were born before the wind, almost older than the sun, all that stuff. And in fact, I wrote down here, this is the song I played at my funeral. I just love the lyrics and the whole vibe of the sound. Into the Mystic. You can see somebody just floating away into the mystic, because we don't know what's going to happen after we die, but so food for thought. Number 4, piano-driven song, Elton John's Your Song. This is the first Elton John song I ever heard when it came on the radio in 1970, and I was a fan from then on. I love the songwriting team, Bernie Taupin on lyrics and Elton John with the music. They did that for 40 years and put out one great song after another, especially in the 70s. Incredible artist. This one still stands up today. You can hear this come on the radio and you're in. And then the last 2 songs are iconic tunes. My 5th song on this side is Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. Just another life-affirming song. Anybody who's had struggles in their life and has hit rock bottom and ran out of hope and thinking they have nothing to live for, Paul Simon wrote a masterpiece here. Art Garfunkel's voice is just angelic. A great song, when you're down and out and on the street and da-da-da-da. Somebody to lean on, like a bridge over troubled water. I will be there for you, that kind of thing. I can't remember the lyric right now. And then to end my first album, Let It Be by the Beatles, Paul McCartney. I went back-to-back Monsters, Bridge Over Troubled Water, and Let It Be. They're both similar songs. They're signature songs for the bands they're with. Paul McCartney wrote this after seeing his passed away mother in a dream. In my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be. And when the brokenhearted people in the world agree, there will be an answer. Let it be, let it be. Another one of those hopeful songs, spiritual, and that's what I was going for on side 2.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried after your side 1. I'm like, I didn't have any matches. I said, am I in the same ballpark? It got better in side 2.
Yeah,
for sure. And I kind of figured that sooner or later you're going to hit something that was either going to be on my first volume or a second volume. I just knew it.
Yeah. So. Oh, absolutely. Wait till you see 3 and 4. There's probably some stuff there too.
Yeah, then there'll probably be some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost like exactly what Brian said. Some hits, some misses, but there's some hits in there too. So it's I think we'll float in the same neighborhood. I think when it comes out to the wash between 2 albums, but
you got to go where
there will be some differences.
These are the songs that I relate to, so that's what I went with.
Sure, right. That's what we're all going to go with, buddy. Here we go. That's what happens, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And end with 2 big powerhouse songs like Bridge Over Troubled Waters and Let It Be right there. I mean, that's just, you're going to talk about 2, I don't know, probably top 200 songs of all time. Easily. Yeah. On everybody's list. Probably most people rank Let It Be as one of Paul's best standalone songs, that wasn't affiliated, that didn't have, John attached to it.
Right.
Yeah. So
cool.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, very nice.
All right. I guess I'm up next, huh?
Yes, you're up next, brother.
Let's see.
All right. So, well, I did have something. I did have something from an album that you just got through talking about. I did have something from Moondance, but I had the title track, Moondance, and I like it. I like this whole album. I mean, it's got this really great soft rock, jazz fusion with it. That kind of it reminds me of stuff that I would hear from Steely Dan down the road. A very, very tight, unique blend of instrumentation. I know it's like his most played song in concert too. It's like he still plays it in concert all the time. So it's a song that never gets old. It's iconic. Everywhere, every time you hear somebody talk about the greatest songs of all time, Moondance has got to be included in the conversation. So,
Yep.
that's my lead off track. Number 2 for me, I'm going from Cosmo's Factory, a Bakersfield country kind of song, looking out my back door. It's got that kind of Buck Owens kind of sound to it. It's a different kind of country. And I think Rich and I have talked about that before, how I prefer the Bakersfield sound to the Nashville sound. And really very interesting, catchy tune that this one is. And I wanted to have something by CCR's Cosmos here for sure. And I wanted something to kind of kick the album off and get it going in a good direction here. So third track for me, I've got probably the consummate battle cry song will be from Led Zeppelin 3. I've got the Immigrant Song. Probably, every time you see any type of show on TV and it's got a bunch of Vikings or gladiators going at it, it seems like they want to play this song. I think even as recently as a Thor movie, they played Immigrant Song like in the new Thor movie probably like 5 times during the movie. So I was like, they're really pushing this whole Viking thing. I thought it was really cool. So definitely a good track though. If you want to get into a good rocking mood, that's a really great one. Number 4 for me is going to be a kind of a deeper cut. It's from Loaded from the Velvet Underground. It's one of them that most of their singles didn't chart until 71. So I had to go with an album cut that I really liked off of here. It's their closing track, Oh Sweet Nothing. It's actually a B-side, I think, for Who Loves the Sun as well, but I'm going to count it as an album cut right here because it never was released as a standalone single. If you listen to it, it's kind of got this nice blues, country and classic rock all kind of blended together. It initially, when I first heard the song, when I listened to the album about a year ago, it reminded me of like if something Leonard Skinner would have actually played. And so it was kind of unique that I thought for Velvet to have a sound like that. And it's really their last legitimate album that they put out. And that's the last song on that album. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Number 5 for me on my first side, I've got an album that I just listened to in full, but I already had heard this song off of the album. It's the title track from Gordon Lightfoot's If You Could Read My Mind. I know that it had a different title. I think it was Sit Tight Young Stranger or something like that was the original title of the album. They switched it up. After this song made it big, they switched the song, the album title and everything and re-released it all together. Great. Gordon Lightfoot's really great about, blending this nice string arrangement with this nice folk rock stuff that he's got going on. He's very, very articulate. He uses some great, alliteration and some great, imagery is always pushed forth in his lyrics. And that's what I've always really liked about him. I've listened to like 4 of his albums now, and he never lets me down. Last song on side A for me is going to be, Rich already had it. It's Let It Be by the Beatles, from their last album that they released in 1970. The album's not as really well liked as some of the other stuff by the Beatles, but let's face it, the Beatles are only competing against themselves. But what happens there is that people say, well, Let It Be is not that great of an album. Well, yeah, but it's the Beatles. So if anybody else would have released an album like Let It Be, that'd have been like one of the greatest bands in the 70s. That would have been what the narrative would have been then. So iconic song. I had to leave it here. Just Paul's melody and his piano playing in it. It's very sullen and sincere, and it's a great track to end the side with.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad you had
good cuts in there, Brian. Good cuts in there.
I love If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot. That will probably be in my 71 because I think it came out as a single that year. That's one of those ones that the albums one year, the singles, we talked about that before we came on. There's a bunch of them. So it is a great song. There's no doubt about it. Perfectly written. And it's short and sweet, but you get the message real quick. And I of course, Moondance leading off is one that I had 2 band songs on here, and I decided to scrap one at the last minute. So love it though. That whole album's fantastic.
Oh,
all the way through.
Absolutely great. The whole thing. I think we had the conversation about the hype behind Astral Weeks, but Astral Weeks is meant as a concept composition. This Moondance is just filled with solid singles and songs.
It's more poppy and catchy, but I like Astral Weeks too. I'm not gonna downplay it. It's a great album.
So onward to side B, I got a little bit more rockin' for most of the side B, a little bit more than I usually do even. So I started it off with Black Sabbath, Paranoid. I could have picked from 2 Black Sabbath albums that they had 2 released this year, but it's from Paranoid, their lead-off track. I was a metalhead in high school for a couple years before I kind of got into hip-hop. Go figure. My mind was like everywhere when it came to music. Actually I had a Black Sabbath t-shirt and everything, and I had rocking the mullet and all that other stuff. So
right on, brother. Right on.
That's crazy. But Paranoid's an iconic, metal song. And if you need to put something from the metal portion of the 70s, this would be a great song to choose from. Right after that, I've got Derek and the Dominoes. Probably their most famous song is going to be Layla. Do I feel like 7 minutes is a little too long for the track? Absolutely. Could have gone with 5 minutes, no problem, I think. But such a classic rock tune. There's no denying that this should be a staple of anybody who's getting into.
But Brian, with Layla going from 5 to 7 minutes, that means you get 1 extra death in the movie that you were watching.
That's true. That's right. You don't have time to shoot. You don't have time to shoot gangsters that are laying, getting a massage. You don't have time for that, right?
A 2-minute slow-mo shot.
Number 3, I've got. I actually prefer the medley of the song. It's actually tied in with. So I've got No Sugar Tonight, but I also like the fact that it's tied in with New Mother Nature.
Oh, yeah.
And I like it when it's all as a whole, because the back and forth harmonies on New Mother Nature and how it goes right back to No Sugar Tonight again toward the end of the song. I think it's incredible. I'm a big Guess Who fan, so The American Woman was a great album. This was a definitely I wrote down immediately. I knew it was going to make my list for 1970. Number 4 for me is some Three Dog Night's going to make its first appearance, I think, on any of my lists. I've got Mama Told Me Not to Come. This was actually written by Randy Newman, like in 1966, for somebody else. And then a lot of people started covering the song. Donna Summer is actually a backup singer on this. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, and little known fact, when Casey Kasem started his top 40 countdown, this was number 1 that week.
This was number 1?
This was number 1. Mama Told Me Not to Come by Three Dog Night. So
why did they have to open the window all the time? Why did they open the window all the time?
That cigarette you're smoking, like stale perfume or whatever.
Number 5 for me. Now, I don't like jam albums. I think I've told you guys this, so I'm not a big fan of like Allman Brothers at Phil Maurice, but I do like, I just bought Idlewild South, and that's got Midnight Rider on it. Fantastic album. This song, of course, an iconic song. Wanted to put that on there. I got a nice Southern rock blues texture to it, and I'm big on blues, so I really appreciate that album that I just listened to. So I wanted to put that song on here as well. Ending off my side 2 or side B, whatever we call it, I've got Helpless by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I'm sure that you could just say this is Neil's song, but actually this also appears for them as well. So I've got it's from Deja Vu, and great song. I wanted to end off with that. Too bad that they took him down from Spotify, breaking my heart on all of his material. And but great song, and I wanted to kind of like end my rock side with something a little bit quieter and mellow. So
cool. Love it.
Yeah, it's a very solid album, right? This is and I'm not going to give away too much here, buddy, but I like your album a lot. So
I just want to say a couple things. Layla's going to appear on my list, obviously, because it's that good. I have a different Guess Who song, but I like the one you chose. Mama Told Me Not to Come was a honorable mention for me. Love the song.
Yeah.
And Midnight Rider was the song that I replaced at the last minute. I put in I'm Your Captain. That was in that slot.
Right in that slot.
on side A. So I gave it
Wow.
big time consideration, but I'm glad you had it because it
There
should
was
represent
so much stuff, you know.
There's so
There was
much stuff.
It was
Loads,
crazy.
loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we all cut, paranoid, I was never going to have because I'm not cool enough to be a metal guy. But anyway, I'm serious. That's just not my thing. Everybody knows that.
Hey, everyone's got their sweet spot, man.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, but I'm glad you had that too. I mean, they were huge in 1970, Black Sabbath.
Sure.
Yeah, they were.
Good
Yeah, they
stuff.
had a whole string of albums there. So, Doc, you're gonna close this out, man. What we got?
Here we go. Coming up, man. 2-1. Can we get it home? Here we go.
Let's do it.
I guess I'll start off my side A. So one we haven't heard yet to start with. So I'll start there anyway. So it's more of an appreciation over time for me with these guys. And it's I wish I would have known this earlier, but mine's Deep Purple, Child in Time, to start off this album.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a really, really well-written tune, man. This is a good rock song. I mean, you don't get a voice like this, man. And Richie Blackmore, man, the guitar, the build-up in this tune. It's a fantastic rock and roll song to start off in 1970. And you get the idea, it's a little heavier. Obviously, it's Deep Purple, but it's a great classic rock song for 1970 for sure, in my eyes. So that's what I'm starting the album with. Number 2 sounds a lot like Black Sabbath's Paranoid to me too, man. So I'm coming in hot and heavy with a couple solid ones back to back. I think, starting off a little heavy, but yeah, it's a classic Sabbath tune from 1970, man. Paranoid's this is a different sound. I mean, there's we had Zeppelin earlier last year, and we've had different things, the Who and different things that you can see the different sounds from people, but man, this is different again. Sabbath was breaking barriers, man. And Paranoid and some other stuff at 1970 for these guys. Classic rock song in my eyes. So follow that up with the Immigrant Song, man, from Zeppelin. So
Nice.
What can you say? I think it's like another classic Zeppelin tune here. So Zeppelin has a few here, man, in 1970 you could draw from, depending on which way you want your album to look or how you want it to play out. So, but the Immigrant Song's kind of probably one I'd fall back off to, off 3 more than anything in my eyes. So coming in at number 3 for me on this side. Number 4, man, it's No Sugar Tonight, buddy. It's the new Mother Nature.
You guys did well together. Nice.
So I told you I like Brian's album, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's 3 in a row. So, but yeah, it speaks for itself. I mean, the Guess Who, it's another great tune, and American Woman is a great album. I got this one a little higher than the title track. That one maybe a little overplayed, but this one's always been a favorite, and it's exactly what it's about, man. No Sugar Tonight. So great tune. Randy Bachman. It's a great sounding tune too, and it's nice that they put the 2 songs together to make the one song, actually, because they're in the same key. So that part's cool. It's funny, I also have another Velvet Underground too, it's kind of weird, but it's not my favorite version of the song, but it is the original version of this tune. But it is Sweet Jane. Rock and Roll Animal version is much better in my eyes. That live version with Lou Reed, that'd be the one. If you're going to listen to it, that's the one to listen to. But still a great rock and roll song, especially. It's a great song, man. Always had a good vibe to it. There's a few out of him that I like. It's Velvet's going to have a short lifespan with me, and this is we're almost at the end of it, and it's only like 2 or 3 years in. So, but this is going to make my cut. Number 6, finished off side A. Go figure, Rich. I'm Your Captain, buddy, with Grand Funk.
Nice.
So, like that call, brother.
Wow.
It's a great tune, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, man. It's a long haul, but man, what a great haul it is. And Grand Funk sounds there. It's a great bass line, great vibe in that tune, man. And it's the 2-in-1 again, I guess, almost. But what a great song, man. And that's why I'm going to end my side A.
Cool. I'm glad you had that in there. Otherwise, I'm getting shut out. I also like Sweet Jane. Sweet Jane is a great song. And that's one of my honorable mentions. I just couldn't fit it into my themes, but I really dig it. I like it a lot.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I think Loaded, the album in general, just gets, I don't know, for some reason, everybody focuses on Nico, and I'm like, Loaded is just,
Yeah.
it's just filled with great tracks. I don't understand what the attachment is to Nico. I just don't get it. But I guess I'm just not, you know, a diehard, you know, Velvet Lou Reed kind of guy. So I wouldn't
think
get
they're
it. So
both solid. I like Nico too. That voice, it's just different. That German accent, that thick, but both are great. I can't deny it. I like Lou Reed's songwriting. Fantastic. Good album there, Doc.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Now, I'll tell you this right now, man. This side B is, I don't know, man. I'm just going to do it, okay? But here we go. I'm starting off with Let It Be. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? It's, I don't know how I was going to set these up. So I just actually, you'll see the sequence when you figure this out here, but you'll get the idea. Let It Be is a classic. And yeah, an ending song, I guess, you know, it could have been Abbey, could have been this, but you know, Let It Be.
Yeah.
The end of the Beatles, man. A lot of meaning behind it.
Yep.
McCartney also came out in that year with Maybe I'm Amazed. So that's my second tune.
Nice.
Follow up.
Yeah.
And you know, and Paul's almost like pissed off halfway through that song, and I just love that part of the song almost like the most, man, because he just
yeah,
you can almost hear how pissed off he is. I just think that's fantastic, and maybe my favorite McCartney song. I got a few, but that's right up there for me, man. It's a fantastic song. Right back into George's My Sweet Lord, man. So I'm gonna do like the 3 in a row.
Yeah, I like that.
It's just the way I was setting it up. Didn't know if I was going to end my album with this and how would I do it like that. So I just started the second half this way. Just, all right, if this was going to flip over on part 2, I can live with this being the first 3 tunes out of the track here. So I'm going to let that ride. And My Sweet Lord, it's a classic song, man. And it's right. It's, you know, George is on fire, man. Rich's point. This guy's kicking on all cylinders, man. So, and it shows here, you know, All Things Must Pass is quite the masterpiece, man. Right back into Elton John's Your Song.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Elton's like maybe a top 5 kind of guy for me, man. You know, definitely 5, 10 kind of ballpark kind of guy. That I have a lot of respect for Elton. I think his music's fantastic, and I like that piano, man. So Your Song, always one of my favorites. I have lots of favorites from Elton, so I mean, this could change any given day, but this is a top 5er for me at any given day of Elton. So could be number 1 at times. That's my number 4. As Long as I Can See the Light by CCR is coming in at number 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good one.
Just trying to change up the album a little. I wanted something. It's a little different, almost sound for CCR in one sense. You know, don't get too many sax solos in a CCR song. So it's just more of a gospel-y kind of thing. As much as like there's a gospel vibe to the CCR kind of thing at times and stuff, you can really feel it. This one, you really, really feel it. And just a great song, and it's a connection song for me. So that's why it's on my album. So that's the way it is. Brian, wouldn't you know it? I'm going to end my album If You Could Read My Mind with Gordon Lightfoot, buddy.
Nice.
So
there you go.
Hey, what do you want? Yeah, sure, I'm the Canadian boy, but whatever the case, that's not the reason. But you know, I guess you on here too. So, but yeah, it's
too bad Rush didn't come out with a song.
Yeah, listen, man, they're coming. They're coming. But yeah, I mean, what a great song, great storytelling, and this is great singer-songwriter storytelling kind of fella, and it's in his music all the time. So that's why I'm gonna end my side B, man.
Awesome. Yeah,
well, I'm in full support of you throwing Canadian artists on there, right, and up to the point that you throw Bryan Adams on there, and then I'm gonna have to let you go.
It's the same guy who threatened us with Elvis.
Yeah, it's pretty friggin' solid, man. I like it. I like everything.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I like the fact that you switched it up a little bit. Instead of, because Brian and I had Let It Be as a closer, you had it as an opener. It works either way because it's that good a song. I'm hoping to God that my wife doesn't watch this video ever, because Maybe I'm Amazed is not only her favorite McCartney song, it's her favorite song of all time, and I didn't include it. So good for you.
Whoa.
No, thanks, buddy. No, it's a great tune to me.
You got me off the hook a little bit. At least I'm making a video with
Well, you
somebody.
can pause the video. You know, pause the video at a certain spot. Just watch him here now. I was gonna say it. That's all.
Yeah.
So that was cool, man. I liked it. Your song, what can I say? It was number 4 on side 2, just like yours was. So we had an exact same.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. It'll be later on in mine, not to give too much away. So,
And one thing I want to mention, we had our first trifecta with Let It Be too. That's the first one we've hit on so far
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
so far.
in 1970.
Right.
So far.
And what did
Listen,
we
I
have
know
last
you're both
time?
gonna have child in time, man. You're both gonna have some Deep Purple. I know on the second album. So I'm
Oh,
sure the trifecta is coming together.
I might even go Deep Purple and Sabbath back to back. You never know.
I'm not gonna give anything away, but wait till the album part 2.
Right.
That was good. We're not going to
Yeah,
do any
very cool.
honorable mentions, right, Brian? Because
Yeah, we
just
hold
save
off
it.
until the second album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Perfect.
sense going into that. So that
Right.
all 3 of us did well. There's so many songs that we could have had. So awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. Really good.
All right, we should probably wrap up volume 1 here. That was this is our volume 1 for the top 20, actually we would say 24 songs of 1970, and we have 2 volumes, and this is the volume 1. So stay tuned for our next video, volume 2 of the 1970s. We'll have another 12 songs and another album that we put together, trying to build our perfect album. Thanks again to Rich for joining me. I'll put his link down below to his channel. He does a great channel. And Doc, thank you for joining us. We really
No problem.
appreciate it. Just leave your Brian Adams CDs at home and we'll be all fine.
Nowhere to be found, brother.
Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
See you
He
guys.
said, "Oh."
Thanks.
Bye.